Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Good morning to you. Now, we're about to come into some dangerous heat, and not only for this week, but that extreme pattern we talked about last week, that is coming into play next week, and it's going to be more dangerous heat with it, as well as the severe weather that we have for today and tomorrow, as well as I'm going to give you the tropical update so far. So if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I am all year long. Remember, all the links are in the description to help save you time. So let's get on to the forecast. God bless all of you today. Hope you have a very blessed day today. Now, of course, on the Atlantic side, we don't have anything expected within the next 5 days. Matter of fact, I'm showing that what we've been talking about, this pushing further and further to the west, has come true in the weather models. It finally caught up with the data. And the update on the Pacific side, we do have these two disturbances. This one, disturbance 1, is Invest 92E. And this is expected within the next 5 days to be 90%, 40% in the next 48 hours. And so far, this is still going to track west-northwest, not really much impacts. If it gets close to land, there could be some wind involved, as well as some rain and precipitation from Mexico, but although it's not showing too much of a threat. And disturbance 2 is only at 20% for the next 5 days. This is literally going to dance around the Central American gyre, and the impacts and placements of that is still a little bit unknown, although it is still showing a west-southwest suppression. And Invest 92E is predicted to have at least a tropical storm strength, potentially a strong tropical storm, maybe a low-grade hurricane, but majority of them show that no matter what, it'll just stay a tropical storm. But either way it goes, you can see by mostly all of the guidance models that it is going west, northwest. None of this is really going to do any impacts. There's only a couple that's showing it could go somewhere close towards Mexico, but those look like the outliers at this point because everything is showing a westward push. But you can see the latest run to 0Z on the euro that we have our Invest 92E right here, as well as that next disturbance, and we have another one forming up by the Central America. And this will all gyre around the Central American gyre. And where it's going after that is still unknown. But it is showing not only the Euro, but as well as the GFS, that this could potentially become a tropical storm or potentially a hurricane for either Belize or the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, after it goes by the Yucatan Peninsula, it will cross over land and weaken up, get into the southern end of the Bay of Campeche, and go towards Mexico once again. But the whole time, it will be weak because of the wind shear, and it's got all that dry air that is in there, all that dust. And you can see this shot right here on the NASA satellite looking at all the dust. Now, you do have the Invest 92E right here by Wednesday. You do have the Disturbance 2 right here trying to form up something, but it's still showing weak. And we have that third disturbance forming up by the Central America. Now, so far, it's showing it will ball up and go towards the Yucatan. And on the NASA satellite, it's showing that it will stay weak and lose a lot of its precipitation as it crosses over Honduras and Nicaragua and heads towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, this is headed towards somewhere around Cancun or Belize, somewhere on the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula. And so far, it's shown that it will lose its formation as you get towards Friday and head towards landfall, losing a lot of its strength going over landfall and getting pushed to the west by all of that dust, and then losing its strength once again as you go into next Monday and going into the eastern side of Mexico. So far, something weak. Now, the GFS also sees Invest 92E, and it shows it getting a little bit of strength where it be a low-end hurricane, as well as a second disturbance and that third piece that's going across the Central American gyre. Now, where a big issue with these model guidance runs is these two disturbances right here. The one that we're looking at is number 2, and that third piece of energy is going around the Central American gyre. They're doing a Fujiwara effect where they're swinging around each other a whole bunch. So far, it's still showing, according to GFS, that it will strengthen up a little bit more as it goes towards somewhere around Belize, a little bit northern, weaken down as it goes across land, and then go towards somewhere around Mexico. At the same time, with these two pieces spinning around, the GFS shows that before this big plume of dust comes in, all this dry air, that you do have an upper level low next to this by the Central America, and those will dance around, and there's a potential for that to form up and quickly head north, somewhere towards the northeastern side of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, if this was to happen, not only does it still have shear, because it's still too early in the season, but with all the dust, it would not be able to live that long. So it would be something very, very weak if that was so true. But you can also see on the 6Z run that it's a little bit more northern. It's not so much southern where it's going to be hitting towards Belize. Somewhere is still headed towards the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula. So just be aware you could have some high winds and some precipitation coming your way. I will keep you updated. This is literally still 6 days away from you. And that next piece of energy coming through is still a little bit too far to be sure, guys. But it's still showing that it could hold together a little bit better and get away from that dust in that little pocket that we've been looking at. And it could be a little bit stronger than a group of disorganized thunderstorms. It could be a weak tropical storm potentially. But with that coming through, it would be a western push, and I don't see how it could speed up and get it northern in the Gulf of Mexico. And when you look at all your perturbed members, you can see your most likely outcome, which is your controlled member right here. So according to the controlled member, that next piece of energy will head somewhere towards the Yucatan Peninsula, being somewhat a little bit weak. But as we've been seeing for a long time, that it will be most likely northern Mexico or southern Texas for that storm to form up. And that would be somewhere around the 19th or 20th. So it's still too far to be sure. But the next piece of energy that comes through, it is still confirming that it will head somewhere to the northwest of the Gulf of Mexico, still showing just like the Farmer's Almanac. It's about a week later than the Farmer's Almanac, but that's pretty accurate for them to be picking up a possible tropical storm for Texas. And you know I will keep you updated on this, but it's still showing that this will be a west-northwest push through the Gulf of Mexico. But what's even more dangerous is not only all these heat advisories that we have in all of this orange for today. It's that extreme pattern I told you about last week where we're going to go on that very high ridge. That's going to move further to the east, and all this heat advisories is going to move all the way to the east side of the U.S. And so far, according to the HRRR, around 4 p.m. is when you're going to have your hottest temperatures for the southwest as well as the south central for today. And that's why you're in the heat advisories. You have over 100 degrees in these temperatures, and this is not your heat index. This is just your temperatures, and these are taken in the shade, as well as the southwest. And so far, southwest Arizona, as well as southern California, y'all are over 110 degrees on your temperatures expected for today, as well as Texas, eastern New Mexico, western Oklahoma, and western Kansas, and eastern Colorado. A big pocket of over 100-degree temperatures. And for today, this won't reach too far to the east, but this will move as this ridge moves for next week. Also, you can see with National Weather Service on your precipitation all the way till next Tuesday that whole area has zero precipitation coming with all this heat. But for today, you are in a marginal up here as well as northwest for a chance for flash flooding. And this will carry on for tomorrow because we're in that high ridge, which is going to be even extreme for next week, with a marginal for flash flooding as well as this big slight risk for North Dakota. But this marginal for flash flooding for tomorrow is also for severe weather because we have chances for tornadoes. But you can see the ridge that we're going into. So these storms are pretty much called ridge riders. It's going to be right up on this jet stream heading way north. And that's why all the severe weather for today is going to be northern U.S. But as we go into next week, this ridge will get even more extreme, just like I showed you last week. And it will bring all this heat and moisture up to the northern. But when this ridge next week moves further to the east, it will bring all the temperatures to the east as well. So remember, all these links are in the description. All you got to do is click on them, scroll down, and you will see which cities are affected. But for today, you do have severe weather. You have thunderstorms and all of this green today. You do have chances for tornadoes. You have 2% in multiple areas, as well as a 5%, which I see a long-lived cell, a possibility of a very violent tornado. But you do have wind threat for today as well, and some hail, with significant hail in this black for today. But your tornado threat for today, your biggest threat being Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid Valley, South Dakota, and Sturgis, South Dakota, as well as your 2%. That is going to Indianapolis, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, Richmond, Virginia, Evansville, Indiana, and Fargo, North Dakota. And this is all starting later this afternoon. When you look at your helicity tracks, which is your wind direction change with height, you can see you start getting some long-lived cells going all the way from Montana into South Dakota, also North Dakota. You have a little bit from Nebraska, but you do have some for Illinois, a couple of tracks for Ohio and Indiana as well. So starting at 5 p.m., you have a nasty cell that comes in from southeast Montana, and it does travel into South Dakota. Multiple cells that could be long-lived, and all that purple is indicative to some very large hail that could come out of that as well. And it comes all afternoon long to 8 and 9 o'clock, stays strong until about 10 o'clock. Then you have some straight line winds that's coming with that band in North Dakota. But those cells coming from southeast Montana from 5 p.m. all the way to 9 p.m. is a chance for a very violent tornado. Because you can see with your helicity tracks that is a long-lived, a long track cell that's coming out of that. And that could be very dangerous. So just be aware from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. that you do have chances for a tornado, a long-lived cell for southeastern Montana and northwestern South Dakota all evening long. Also for Indiana and Ohio, you have some nasty little cells that is passing through from 3 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock. And they are getting some nasty little shear on it, not super strong. But that goes all the way to 7 and 8 o'clock with some strong cells passing through. And you can see with the shear that it's not a lot of shear, but it is getting a little bit of shear on these cells all evening long as that passes through. So just be aware you could have a spin up or two. Not really a super big chance for Indiana and Ohio. But what grows in Illinois later tonight looks pretty dangerous. Because right around 8 o'clock, southern Illinois gets some nasty cells that could have some hail in it. That's what that dark pink color is, chances for hail. Out of all these cells that group up all the way until 11 o'clock tonight. And you can see it is getting some shear on that cell. Especially by 8 p.m. it grows into some shear with it. Good rotation, chances for tornadoes. And it stays on the other cells as well all evening long. So just be aware you do have multiple chances for tornadoes for southwestern and southeastern, mostly from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and it could last longer. And for the mid-Atlantic, you get some nasty cells, mostly around 10 or 11 o'clock. You get a nasty cell that passes through southern Maryland, and it is getting some shear on that cell as it pushes through from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So you definitely have some nasty cells that's pushing through that could get a spin up on that. Maybe even go a little bit northern to southern Delaware. So just be aware of that. And you have some more cells passing through once you get to noontime. Not a lot of shear on that, but as it gets a little bit later, you see it grows shear for southern Maryland as it gets closer to the coast. So I definitely see that maybe eastern Virginia, southern Maryland, you have a couple of chances all the way to 2 p.m. to get a spin up or two on these tornadoes that is getting some shear on them. So just be aware of that. Then around 4 p.m., you get some more nasty cells that's passing through Virginia, and they go towards southern Maryland as well. It dissipates, but for a moment, it gets really strong, and it even gets some shear on that cell as it passes through. So just be aware that you are getting shear on these cells that could give it the rotation it needs to spin up. So definitely eastern Virginia and southern Maryland, be aware for chances for tornadoes for today. Because there is some long-lived cells that do pass through, mostly for southern Maryland. Also some winds for Illinois. It shows it maybe around 9 and to 11 o'clock. You could get some 50, 60, even potentially 70 miles per hour wind gusts. I would say 50 and high 60s is a good chance to come with those cells. Just be aware. But when those storms come through the north central, it is showing chances for 50 and 60, even 70 with those cells that's coming through northwestern South Dakota, as well as what's coming through Nebraska. Just be aware you have chances for 60, 70, even 80 miles per hour wind gusts as these push through. So for Nebraska, is definitely going to be from 7 p.m. all the way to 11 p.m. And I'm showing with a high resolution rapid refresh 48 hours that this is going to last all night and for tomorrow as well. So for tomorrow, for Monday, you do have a severe weather threat, and I will upload another one tomorrow morning so we can stay updated. But you do have chances for tornadoes tomorrow as well. You have a big 2% in these green and a 5% as well for both areas. Very strong chance for tornadoes. You have a wind threat as well and some significant wind right here in this black for the Ohio Valley, and chances for large hail for mostly South Dakota, northeastern Wyoming for tomorrow. So So your chances for tornadoes for Monday. Your main chance is Chicago, Illinois, Columbus, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Madison, Wisconsin, as well as your 2% again for tomorrow. Indianapolis, Indiana, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Cincinnati, Ohio, Akron, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. And you can see on holistic values with the 48 hours is still showing a very long track coming from southeast Montana going into northwestern South Dakota, as well as some cells for Nebraska passing through for this evening. But look how it grows. Not only do you get the cells for Illinois, but it grows all night long, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, just carries straight over that ridge. It's called Ridge Riders, and that's why it's called that. So you definitely have to watch out for severe weather for tomorrow, because this will grow into tomorrow. So as we go into later tonight, what I showed you, it looks like it carries on as you go overnight into early morning hours, all the way till tomorrow afternoon, and just keeps on going. And definitely tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night is going to be affecting Wisconsin and Michigan as well. So just be aware, we do have a couple days of tornadoes. Tomorrow looks way worse than today. And that includes the winds as well as you go into later tonight, all the way until tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. It just keeps ripping across. And they have chances in multiple locations for 60, 70, 80, some even showing a potential chance for 90. Now this is high resolution rapid refresh 48 hours, so I would downscale that a little bit, but still 80 miles per hour wind gusts for some people, that's pretty dangerous. So I will update you very early tomorrow, especially on your severe weather. And that extreme pattern that we talked about last week coming in for next week, we'll be bringing all that heat, and it is still pushing it to the east as this moves over to the east for next Monday and Tuesday. Then you're going to see all these 100-degree temperatures go a little more northern, even up to South Dakota, getting into the 100 degrees. You can see the pink as you go into Sunday. But once you go Monday and then Tuesday, then it's going to bring all these very hot temperatures, very dangerous heat to the central U.S., to southeast, Kentucky, Tennessee Valley, everybody over there. So as we go into Saturday and Sunday, it will swing all these very hot temperatures all the way to the north central, to the upper Midwest. But as we go into that Monday and Tuesday, that's when it's going to stretch out to the southeast as well. But look right here for California and the southwest. As you go towards Tuesday, you're looking at 109 degrees for California, Arizona. Just very, very hot temperatures coming. And also for the east side of the U.S. with that high ridge moving over. But a lot more people and over 100 degrees. Even got it for 104 and 106 for South Carolina. But look at this. Everybody that wasn't in the hundreds for today will be coming into next week with these 100-degree temperatures. Just be aware. But that is the update. So I hope you heed my warnings, not only for the severe weather, but this very dangerous heat that is coming with this high ridge. And it is going to be moving to the east for next week. So you're not going to be in the 90s for this week, but you will be into the hundreds for next week. Just be aware of that. It's a lot of y'all that's going to be in that heat. Thank you all so much for visiting my channel today. I hope each one of you have a blessed day. And a little update on the food. I did find a pantry. It was kind of a lot of searching around, but I found a pantry that I think would be good for us to help out. They have all kind of people that go there for help, but they only help out once a week, and it's every Thursday. So I will be getting prepared for Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to be getting over 500 cans of tuna fish and vegetables and over 300 bags of pasta, beans, rice, of that sort, and setting up these things for these people so we can help them out, as well as the 75 Bibles that we have to pass out for them as well. And then next Thursday when they open up, I will be over there passing all this food out for them, for y'all. Thank you so much for helping out. We're already getting almost halfway into this month. So this month don't look like so far as not doing anything as far as helping people. Remember, if you do want to help out, links are in the description to help out. Just make sure you mark it for food if that's what it's for. Thank you for your help. And if we don't reach enough or anything for this month, I will probably have to donate myself just to make sure we keep going, because I want to make sure we keep feeding people. That is very, very important. But thank you again. Just want to give y'all an update on that. And to celebrate this beautiful Sunday out there, I want to read to y'all Proverbs 3. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For a length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yes, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go, and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when thou hast it by thee. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Amen. Have a very blessed Sunday, everybody. Thank you again so much for not only sharing my videos, but visiting my channel today. I appreciate it, and it's always good to hear from every single one of you. God bless you all. In all glory, all power, all honor does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father, forever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a very great day, everybody.